YouTube doesn't like us anymore.
Yeah, I don't know why it died. We've got good cell service and everything here, ironically. So anyway, we're back. We're going to give everybody time to come back in because I know there was a bunch of people in watching there for a minute. Grayson and I, just to bring you up to date, are on Lake Monticello in South Carolina. Monticello, as we say it. This is the one in South Carolina. There is one in, I think Texas has a Monticello. I think it's a lot bigger. This is a very small reservoir just outside of Columbia, South Carolina. So anyway, we've been dragging. We put 12 fish in the boat. We got one on camera in that other feed. Not sure why that feed broke up and died. Apologize for that. But hey, it's the we're in the fledgling stages of live TV via a boat, via YouTube, via my cell phone, via doing it different. So anyway, somebody was asking, hey guys, somebody said good afternoon. My phone, when it gets hot, it gets dark, it's hard to see, and it's hard to see. So anyway, fish on, fish on, fish on, Grayson, go. Sorry, we got a fish. We're going to catch fish for a second. That may be a decent fish. That's got a good fold to it. May have a good one. We're going to roll some video here. How's he feel? That one went over good. Did he pop loose? Hang on, hang on. Get your hand on the rod. Don't lay a rod down like that. That's the way one gets jerked in the water. If he came off, fine. But if that fish would have came at the boat and you'd have laid that rod down and he turned, it would have went flying off into the water. Reel it fast so you get past the drift site. We lost that one. There you go. Let's get it in and see what's up. There you go. Bring it over here. If you saw that, we lost the fish. Grayson got mad, and it's something to be very careful of doing. I've seen people do this before. They get mad, they lose a fish, they lay the rod down in frustration and walk off. I have seen those rods levitate and go flying into a lake very quickly when that happens, because a lot of things can happen. Sometimes those fish can come off because there's another fish in there that causes them to do something, and another fish hits it. So if you think it's off of there, reel it the rest of the way in. Otherwise, you might be buying more fishing tackle. Bear with me. I'm going to get this one back in the water so we can catch that fish. That was a small bait too, I believe. That one went over good. It looked like a good bite. I'm going to go with a little bigger bait. I'm just going to gamble. A little chocolate of lovin'. Water. When I tell you, click that one in gear, Grayson. Alright, let me get back up here and see what's going on. See if I can see anything on here. Yeah, this screen goes dark for some reason. Not sure why. Anyway, there we go. So I'll bring y'all up to date on Lake Monticello in South Carolina. Dragging, we got some shad. We're deep, comparatively speaking to what we normally fish. I am in 55 feet of water out here dragging right now. For some reason, this lake is, for me anyway, and I'm no expert on this, Chris Simpson is the guy who knows this lake better than anybody. He's a guide with Fighting the Blues Guide Service in South Carolina. I'm going to put a link in the finalized version of this if any of y'all are interested in fishing with him. Make sure that camera's off. Yeah. He's a guy down here. He knows the lake. It's a, but he has the same view on it I do. It's a love-hate relationship. You can catch some really good fish. Is that line going out okay? Yeah. You can catch some great fish here. Probably, there's a lot of us that say the next South Carolina state record will come out of this, come from this lake. Let me say that again. The next South Carolina record blue will probably come from this lake. There's a lot of fish in here that you just can't get to because of the standing timber, and that makes it a really, really great place. So, a lot of little fish. The place seems to be thriving. So, I'm seeing a lot more bait fish now than I have in the past. I've come out here and have not marked a lot of bait, but I'm seeing a lot now. It's probably been maybe 2 years since I've been out here, a year and a half anyway. And it's not that far from Lake Wateree, from where my camper is. I just end up going to Wateree out of convenience. But
we came out a year ago.
It's It's a lake that you can anchor on. There's a lot of hunts, but it's deep water stuff. So you got to be prepared to get your boat anchored up in, you know, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 feet of water, and that can be tough. Because that's where a lot of times, a lot of these fish are on the break points where you go from the trees and the edges of the trees. So I've heard of people catching them on top of the trees, drifting above them. But it's what's in those trees, Lord only knows. It's probably pretty cool down there if you could get around and swim around in them. So that's what we got going on. We decided to do this today because I have done a couple of videos on fishing, just how to approach a lake that you hadn't fished or, you know, that you never fished before. Or if you're a new angler and you're just getting out fishing. I was doing some videos on that, and I said, you know what, this would be a cool chance to go to Monticello, which is a lake I don't really know anything about. I know a little bit about just the geography and where stuff's at here, but I don't really know a lot about it. I don't consider myself a good fisherman here, so every time I come here, it's like it's a new learning experience. You knock it in gear, good job. So we've had a good day. We've had 12 fish.
Until that moment.
We lost that one there, but hey, you don't get hooked up on all of them. That's the way it goes. Somebody was asking about the rattles and earlier, and I apologize because I cannot see the question. Grayson, if you can read any of those questions, it's too dark for me to see.
I can't even see it.
Yeah, it's dark.
I can barely see it.
Yeah, for some reason my screen it gets hot and it does this. So listen,
Wait, does the rattles make a difference? You were answering.
Oh yeah, somebody was asking earlier when our feed went on about the rattles making a difference, and here's what I was getting ready to say. The rattles are producing, I thought I had that bag here, about 65–70%. I've got them split on the rods equally. And it's around 60, it's between 60 and 65% of the time the fish we catch are on the rattles. So there's obviously a difference there in they're hitting them a little bit more than the ones without them. So I put them on. I'm going to continue to put them on. Let me see if I got a bag of them here. Jump up a second, pal. Stay with me. Stay with me. Stay with me.
I'm laying out of the sun, so until the rod goes off.
Well, I don't have a bag. I thought I had a bag of them. Hookers Terminal Tackle are the people who make them. There's some of their hooks that they make there, but there's the name so you can see it, so you can freeze it and write it down. Hookers Terminal Tackle, they're the ones that makes them. You can go to their website. I've got a link. I'll put a link in here, and I've got a link to some of their stuff. The rattles are great. I mean, they're really cool. And I think they help entice and get fish that are a little less active to bite. They're a good tool to have when you're dragging and drifting. I don't know if they'd make a difference anchored. Maybe if you were in some current and something was causing them to twist or something, it may make a difference. You could probably try it using that. I've never used them. I just got some of them recently. I need to get some more because I think I'm down to my last few. Let me show you. Do I have any more in there? I've got one left. One of the bad things, that's what they look like there. Line goes through them there and they spin on there. Looks like a little pair of somethings, but that's how they work. They're pretty cool. I like them, and yeah, I think it looks like, looking at the numbers, they make a difference. So if I was catching 25% of my fish on rattle rigs, I would say nope, they're not worth the money. But for what they cost, I would, yeah, I said they're good to use. So I was giving Scott Manning had sent me some of his demon dragons to try out, and I tried them yesterday. And that's another rattle type lure thingy rig, and I'll have a video out on it here soon that I put together. I may have showed one in my live feed yesterday, and I used them. The first fish of the day came on one of the demon dragons. Boom. The biggest fish of the day came on the demon dragon. Sadly, he only sent me 2 of them. So those 2 were 2 of the 5 rigs that got snagged up in crappy brush piles yesterday. So we didn't get to put them to use. I was wanting to bring them out here to Monticello and try them, but I'd planned to do what we're doing, drifting down here. And they're at the bottom of the sea or at the bottom of Lake Wateree. So that's the nature of fishing. That's the nature of dragging, especially the nature of dragging baits. When you start getting into humps and around brush piles and that stuff, you're going to lose some stuff, and it's just happened. So, but yeah, it was, from what I've seen of them, they work good too. So there is something to having some noise down there. I think it gets some fish's attention and may make a fish that is lethargic or less likely to bite. So that's kind of my take on them. I like them. So any of y'all that joined in late, we're on Lake Monticello in South Carolina, not Texas. And we've been drifting. We came out here, I don't know, it was before lunch. We've probably been out here 5 hours. Had a pretty decent day. We've been pulling Santee rigs. Just 2 of them on planter boards. The other one's just off the side and out the back. We've got a total of 6 rods, and it's been a beautiful day out here. This lake, what's interesting about it is it does not allow jet skis or skiers. So there's virtually no recreational boat traffic. People don't come out here just to play around and goof around. So it's really mostly fishermen that are out here. You'll get a few people that will come up to some of these islands and camp, but I got to the boat ramp this morning and there were 2 trailers there, and I mean, that's just amazing. So it can be a very nice, calm place to come fish, and especially in the middle of the summer. This is one of my places I will go to on July 4th and hardly see any boats. So it's a unique reservoir. It's a unique lake, and we're lucky to have it here. So things are starting to, just for you guys around, we're getting into the good time of fishing. Lake temperatures have moderated a little bit. We're at 80 degrees now. Temperature's starting to drop a little bit. Fish are still scattered. They can be caught really good right now, drifting and dragging. So it's a great time to get out if you can. And it's going to be that way for the next 8 weeks. There's going to be good catch them everywhere kind of fishing. Once the temperatures start to get, into the lower 60s, into the 50s, the numbers are going to go away, but that's when we're going to be into the big fish bite. So we're coming into a good time of the year, a sweet spot of the year. So anyway, that's what I got going on today. I just wanted to jump on here for a while and let you know. I'm going to try what we decided I'm going to try to do during deer season is try to schedule a live thing, maybe every Sunday night, to come on and do some live question and answer stuff, to where I'm in my aluminum love palace or my office and I can see these questions, and I can have Grayson or my wife or somebody help me out with reading some of the questions so we can react to some of this stuff and talk about it, engage, and all that kind of stuff. Because I think that would be really cool to get some information out. It's tough out here. I can see these things at night. It's really nice because you can read this stuff great, but just everything is so bright out here, it's hard to see it. And we're doing all this off a little bitty iPhone. So we're trying to push the limits of technology. Oh, I thought that was a rod. I thought it was a fish. It's not. We're pushing the limits of technology to just promote the sport of catfishing and just try to educate people, make them better sportsmen, better stewards of our resource and our waterways and all that kind of stuff. And that's why I do all this. And so far, good positive reaction. I appreciate all your support and all your just support. So what else can I say? Everybody's been really great, and I've enjoyed it, and gonna keep going, keep digging, and keep putting out some new content. So for now, hit subscribe if you like this. Leave any comments after this thing goes up and gets posted. It'll happen here in another 20 minutes. If you have any questions, put them in there, because as you can tell, I go in there every night and try to read through there and see what questions were asked. So if you got questions about something we did out here and I couldn't read it in this feed, put them in there and I'll answer them tonight when I get in. So appreciate you watching. We'll talk to you soon.